I'm thankful, and happy to have you on here. Another old school Sunday conversation with Kenyatta Hudson. And today I have a special guest, mentor, friend, someone who I've been excited to be invited to do some business with, Mr. Rob Eich, his lovely wife, Lois. I don't know if she'll be on today, but Robin, we see that beautiful family in the background, but I'll let the people, or excuse me, let you explain yourself to the people, Rob. And just give you a little heads up on Old School Sunday Conversations. What we do is invite people on, people who can help enrich other people's lives, and we sit back and have conversation, ask them questions about how their lives can be helped. And I know specifically with what you have, an opportunity for consumers to save money. And outside of saving money, if they want to grow in business, you also have a business opportunity as well. And I thought it would be something that would help the community that we talk to here on Old School Sunday Conversations and all the people that come on in. So without further ado, if you can introduce yourself and kind of give a background and explain this opportunity that you have where people can save money.
Well, thank you, Ken. And I'm always pleased when I can be on with you on a Zoom or a video.
Yes,
It's been a pleasure meeting and working with you. It's been great.
same
Well,
here.
well, Lois and I live in Grand Haven, Michigan. It's a resort town. We're right along the lake, and we've been here for most of our lives, actually. Uh, I'm a retired college professor. Before that, actually, I had a career in automotive where I would actually do turnaround facilities. So I'd go into a plant and help to turn it around. Those were just long weeks kind of thing. Before that, I was a high school teacher for about 4 years. I enjoyed that career, but decided to move on. But the thing we've got going right now, we're really excited about because it's really at the convergence of three major things that are very important right now. Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Cash Flow Quadrant, talked about the fact that 95% of the income comes out of 5% of the population. These are the investors. But there's also another category, another quadrant in his cash flow quadrant, and that's a B-type business. And a B-type business is one that has a system. And that's what really makes this work, is we have a system which makes it work. Another thing that we have that is converging is the fact that we have basically what is a super app. And a super app actually was predicted by Forbes magazine in their article, Are Super Apps the Future? In which they indicated that, yes, they are the future. And the third one is a huge community of which are positive, like-minded people. And those three things are all working together into the perfect storm for this business. So what is it? I'll just start out with some general things. I know you have some questions for me, but basically what we have is this new product, which we call Starfish. And you may wonder, where in the world did that term come from? I don't think I ever explained that to you, Ken, but
Yes.
what that is it comes from a story where someone was going along a beach and the starfish had washed up. I imagine you have that out in North Carolina. But anyway,
Yes.
starfish were washing up on the sea, and so this guy was throwing them back, but there was just a lot of them. So this guy comes by him, and he says to him, well, you'll never get all these starfish rescued. And he said, well, as he's throwing one back in, he says, I just made a difference to that one. And that's what we're trying to do with people's lives. One after the other, we're trying to enrich their life in one way or another, kind of thing. So that's an important goal. And it sounds like, Ken, even before you became associated with us, that this was an important goal for you also. So we're excited about it. So the Starfish program is basically this. We get deep discounts from places such as Walmart Amazon, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, Applebee's, and hundreds of others. And this is constantly being added to. And so people can get those deep discounts coming back to them. Also, we have podcasts which are available, and these are about 20 minutes. They're very inspiring, but they're also helpful in building life skills. So these two very poignant things are available on this new Starfish program.
Awesome. That sounds phenomenal. And I love the story of the starfish and trying to reach that one individual at a time. That's kind of how we feel about old school Sunday conversations as well. It may not be for everyone, but for that one that we do touch, we think that it definitely will enrich their lives. And again, that's why I thought it very important to have you on. And again, appreciate you sharing this information as well. I know we met on LinkedIn and was interested in finding out, how did you find out about this business side of the SuperApp?
Well, I've been connected with an organization called Life Leadership for a number of years, actually since it started in 2011. And we've had various things that were built to help people. Matter of fact, we started out with the 8 F's. I don't even know if I remember all of them, but it went like this: faith, family, friends, fun, fellowship, finances, etc. I can't remember all 8. But we had literature available on all of those. So that was a great start for us. The second thing we found out that since so many people were in financial difficulties, we actually came out with a financial fitness program, which is actually embedded in one of the formats that we have in what we call the People's Platform. And so that's still available to it. So like I said, I found out about it when it was originally announced, and because I was part of the organization. And I went to the beginning meeting, which was actually held in Louisville, Kentucky, where we unfolded this beautiful program. And like I said, it's like none other. And we're really excited about how it will help people. Because when you look at inflation like it is going right now, kind of thing, it's nice to have something that runs against that. To give you an example of that, my wife was down in Florida, and I happen to be here in Michigan. And I thought, well, I want to cut down the expenses that I got going. So I actually took my cash back that from my program, and I bought $50 worth of gas and impressed the clerk there. And next day I showed up, and it was $30 more that I put in another car, and that was free also because of the cash back that I'd gotten. And across the course of the next couple of weeks, I had actually gotten $230 worth of gas, plus over $200 worth of groceries, and it was all free from cash back. So while Lois is down in Florida, and there are some expenses to being there, kind of thing, I was here doing things for free.
That's pretty awesome, and I think that's again one of the reasons why we have you come on, the ability for people to experience and gain financial fitness, and also wanting to hear about some of the savings that you've experienced. Myself, and the few times that I have used the app and trying to get more involved with using the app, I know that I had some great savings over at Applebee's, about 10 to 15% off my bill at that time. I don't know if that's increased since that time that I've used it, but what are some of those retailers that you can save at? Again, I experienced Applebee's, and I have 480 debits for the next travel that I do. So I don't know how that works. If you can kind of explain where you can save and traveling as well, that's a great story on saving on the gas. But again, some of the retailers that offer some of the discounts that you have, and then some of the experience and value that you found outside of just saving on gas. If you can share that with us.
Okay. Places that I go to a lot, and I can kind of call up my app here in just a couple seconds here. But certainly go to Home Depot. I mentioned that one before. Love to eat. So Applebee's is one of the places that I go to. Burger King's on there. So I like to go there. So Lowe's is on there also, like I said before. Ace Hardware is on there, Adidas, Aeropostale, Airbnb, Alamo, Amazon, I mentioned that one. American Airlines is on there, American Eagle Outfitters. Apple gift card is on there. And I'm just going through a few of selecting some of the big ones. The Gap, Baby Gap, Bed Bath and Beyond, Bath and Body Works.
That's a lot. That's a lot
Yep.
of them on there.
Best Buy, and I'm just on the B's. I went through the A's and B's. So, I mean, there's just quite a few of them. We also have, if people are really into traveling, we have a sister platform called the People's Platform, which also gives a lot of life skills. We've embedded in there the financial fitness program. We've embedded a lot of the literature we had on the 8 F's that I mentioned before. We have podcasts that were available. We have pay-per-views that in subjects such as leadership, personal development, economics, finance, and all of this is done by leading individuals. For example, we have 2 of the leading leadership experts, speakers, and they're the top speakers, top 50, also in the top 50 authors. They had actually authored one of the books you might recall is a New York Times bestseller called Launching a Leadership Revolution. And I taught leadership, if you will, at the college level. And that book really was illuminating to me because they carried it to a new level. One of their big contributions of that book, in addition to covering a lot of just basic skills of leadership, was the 5th level, leaders who create leaders. And that right there is the particularly gifted ones that we have. But anyway, they created some podcasts. There's also some videos on there, those types of things. So there is a sister program. Again, this was rolled out earlier, and it's called the People's Platform.
Awesome. That sounds phenomenal. And I think as more and more people find out about the SuperApp and find out about the opportunity of not only saving, but being able to build and make yourself better, as you said, the leaders, being able to create and make more leaders. I think that's kind of where our society needs to be at as well. What's going on with all these followers? Where are our leaders?
Yeah.
Can you tell us how many people are taking advantage of the SuperApp right now? What do you think the numbers are as far as how many people are signed up and taking advantage of these great opportunities?
Yeah. I haven't heard the latest figures, but I know we've surpassed the 500,000 mark. And our goal is to, within the short run, to hit 1 million. But just personally, as I kind of look at evaluate the marketplace and that type of thing, saturation is probably somewhere around 150 million people. And the reason for that is eventually we'll have virtually every merchant on this program. So we're constantly adding new ones. We're constantly increasing the percentages at the same time. So as we increase the number of merchants and increase the number of participants, this will be just really dynamite. And I should mention where the money comes from for this. And the money comes from the merchants do not have to pay credit card fees. What we are quickly doing on this particular platform, either platform, is to create a gift card. So we create the gift card, and then the merchant then cashes the gift card. So there's no credit card involved, and they avoid credit card fees. Now, that was really important to places like Amazon. Amazon had absolutely declared war on Visa because they kept raising the cost of the credit cards. And that's when they came to us, because they knew that we did not produce credit cards for them. We actually produced gift cards to where they could avoid that. So the merchants are returning perks to the people who are actually consumers of this. But there's also another area that I haven't really talked a lot about, I may as well now, and that is you can do this as a business. And if you can, those of you who've had economics, remember those things where you get supernormal profits for something that's brand new and it's alone in the marketplace? Well, that's
Yeah.
what we have. But rather than to give the supernormal profits to the few, we're actually distributing it to the many. Many in the form of those who are consumers, in the form of perks, but also to the profit sharers who are in the business. And there are hundreds of thousands of us who are then do this as a business. And so what we do then is we receive the money back from the merchants not having to pay credit card fees. Now, of course, they keep some of it. I mean, that's just natural, but they do pass quite a bit of it back to the people, like I said, in the form of perks for consumers and in the form of profit sharing for the members.
That's pretty phenomenal. And I think we just talked about how there's a group of leaders and we have high-ranking authors and leadership teachers inside of the business. But who is this business ideal for? I started with the ability for people to save, also learn about financial literacy. What if you feel like, hey, I'm not a leader. I don't look at myself like that. I can't see myself talking in front of a lot of people. A part of me starting the old school Sunday conversation, as you know, I'll be going into teaching high school. And one thing I've always told, as I've been going in my new career of teaching, I've told young people, you have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable talking to people. So what type of person who may be in their shell, like, I don't know, Rob, I don't know, Lois, if I can do this, how do they come out of that shell, Rob? What's some of those first steps that they can take? Or who do you see in mind as that ideal person that can not only have the savings, but take advantage of some of the income opportunities?
Yeah. Well, the short answer for your question of who is this for? And the answer to that is everyone. And I'm going to back that up. Now, when I say everyone, because everyone should be a consumer for this, because there's too much money to be saved to not be a consumer and enjoy that. Okay. And we can all learn, you know, I'm not the youngest person in the world, but I took to this very quickly. And everyone who I know of, and we help people by, you know, showing them how to use it. And it's just real simple. Matter of fact, most people don't even need any help. It's just like it's intuitive and it works for them. So as a consumer, the answer is everyone. As far as members, virtually everyone.
Okay.
This
Makes sense.
you could do that as a side gig, you know, so to speak.
Right.
So this could be where you can get something again where you can get supernormal profits, and we use a team approach in this, to where you don't generate all of the business that you get paid for. That's kind of exciting, isn't it? You know, part of it is, go ahead. I asked the question, you should be able to answer it.
Right. No, I definitely understand. And one thing I'm thinking about for that person that's looking at the money and trying to see the numbers and hear an opportunity for themselves, just a frame of reference and time frame. How much could someone who dedicate themselves make in the first 6 months, and what type of time would they need to dedicate to this business side of introducing people to the opportunity?
Well, you know, there are people who, you know, and again, this is a business that can build and build and build. You're building a pipeline income, okay? But if someone really applied themselves to it and, you know, really worked flat out for like 5 to 10 hours actually a week, There are people who have been able to put together a $60,000 a year flow from doing that. So, and the reason for that is when you get in the business, you automatically get a mentor who's been in this business for a while, who somebody who's been very successful already in doing this. And yeah, in my case, like Ken, you've mentioned before that you had limited time in order to do this. So this is something that I do full time. I make up for the fact that most of the people that I work with do this as a side gig yet. Now, some of them are earning more as the side gig than they are from their job, but they still, in some cases, they're knocking down debt. Isn't it nice when you can basically double your income for a bit here and pay off all your debt? That's what some of the folks are doing. So yeah, it's something that can be done with varying amounts of time, and that's Kiyosaki talks about S-types business on his cash flow quadrant. He basically said that 95% of the population was either an E-type business or E-type person, which is employee, or a self-employed individual. Now, with a self-employed thing, you better be running flat out. You'd better put everything aside and build that. Well, that's not us. We basically have a system which gets put into place, but you also have a team of people. It's like the fact that you were saying before that there are times where it's almost impossible for you to kind of spend time with us. Well, we're still building your business. We're building it underneath of you. Now that you have a little bit more time, you've cranked it on, but I don't know what you're spending per week, but I don't think it's a whole lot. And yet you've already begun to see some results. So that's what's cool about this. You can take various slices that you choose, nobody chooses them for you, and be successful in building this business.
That's phenomenal.
So that's why I'm saying that it can be for anyone, kind of thing. And it's not hard. To give you an example, one of the top 5 people in this business was a shy mechanic. And this shy mechanic was so shy that he actually had his mom book his haircut appointments. And when people came into the dealership, he was supposed to handle those customers, but he hid under the cars, so he wouldn't have to deal with them. Somebody else would. So he was extremely shy. Now this guy speaks now in front of tens of thousands of people now, and he speaks confidently and easily. So something I really want to point out here is that in this business, a byproduct of what we do is life skills. And we do this abundantly. Remember, this was our product originally, with life skills. And we still have that. And some of it is aimed towards building this business kind of thing. So it's something where we have a system. And, I listen to audios while I'm working on my car or I'm out working on the lawn. I've got something under my earmuffs, if you will, listening to audios. If I'm going down the road, I'm listening to audios kind of thing. So this is my school rather than have to go to a classroom like I used to and, very specifically take notes and get tested or whatever. I'm learning on my own. We kind of like read, listen, and associate, but it's something where you can do in little spots within your time frame.
That's awesome. Rob, I know we had got started a little bit later, and I know you have an appointment to get to, and I have a couple more calls I need to get to. But as we put a bow on the end of this conversation and you sharing this with our audience, can you, and I think some people may hear a little bit like, oh, that sounds like you talking about team, you have to put people together. That may be a pyramid thing. No. What makes this different than other affiliate programs? I think you point that out when you talk about the education piece, but I'm gonna let you put the bow on it. What makes it different than other affiliate programs? And then if you can share information where teammates can contact you if they had more questions for you.
Well, my quick answer to that is there's not a pharaoh in the bunch. Bad joke. Pyramid. Okay. Pyramids are illegal. And there have been some ones notably that have been, the government comes in, they shut them down. So we have been in existence for a long time. We've had an A+ Better Business radio, or rating rather. And
Awesome.
also, the fact is, it's not a pyramid, because it doesn't matter when you come on board, you can earn more than people that came in before you. You get the benefit of people who came in before you. So, for example, Ken, you're a very talented individual. You could pass what I do as far as income. And actually, the compensation plan is based on performance. So, yeah, there is some advantage in the early days to coming on board, and we share in that type of thing. But in the end result, for the higher incomes, you have to be able to be performing at that level, kind of thing. So we are a pay per performance, not pay for position. And when you compare that to like where you work, chances are the let's say the foreman, let's say it's a shop type of thing for some people. Well, the foreman might be earning more than the person that works in the line. The plant manager might earn more than the foreman does, and on up to the line where a vice president might earn more than the plant manager type of thing, and the president earns more. Well, we allow people to select where they want to be. We allow them to select the amount of time they want to put in. We want to and their performance type of thing. So
Awesome.
a lot of people who feel blocked. Matter of fact, we have an audio called Subway to Metropolitan. It was actually done by our chairman of the board. And he talks about the fact that Josh Bell goes down into the subway. And somebody said, I'll bet you nobody's going to notice you if you go down there. So he goes down with his Stradivarius violin. He's a talented violinist. And he's playing away and that type of thing. And nobody's even noticing.
That's odd.
Here's a guy who gets paid lots of money to perform at the Metropolitan Opera House. And nobody's even noticing. But we know that there's a lot of Josh Bells out there. People who are extremely talented, and yet they're stuck in a place where they can't get noticed, type of thing. Well, I'll tell you what, if you perform in this, you get noticed right away. And you get paid right away. You don't get blocked into, well, this is what you're going to get for the whole year type of thing.
Right.
And really, the sky is the limit. I mean, you can, we haven't even begun to tap into the highest levels of income yet, because how do I say it? We're constantly adding to it. And it's really pretty exciting. So we're not a pyramid. Pyramids are illegal.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for sharing that. I really, truly appreciate your time, Rob. Again, if do you have any contact information that you can share?
Sure. Well, and again, I can even give you like my phone number. That would work. Area code 616-638-2839 is my phone number. You can catch me on LinkedIn. So my name is out there on LinkedIn. My wife's name is also on LinkedIn. So that's the best way to get a hold of them. Otherwise, Ken, you're actually a member also. So matter of fact, it'd probably be better for you if people came directly to you. So your contact information would be the best.
All right, good deal. Well, if you guys mention Old School Sunday Conversation when you call that phone number, Rob will know to put that person on my team, right?
I would. I would.
All right. I appreciate you again, Rob. It's been a blessing again having you on Old School Sunday Conversations. I hope everyone had an opportunity to hear everything. They can go back and rewind. And if this looks like the opportunity for you, get in contact with me or get in contact with Rob, and we will make sure that you get to where you want to be at in life. Thanks again, Rob.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on today.
Definitely a blessing. Thank you. Talk with you soon.
Okay. Talk
All
with you
right.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.